SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information.
Hi, and welcome to Where's the Action? I'm your host, Ross Benjamin. Tonight marks the start of the NHL season, Tuesday, October 1st, and I'm going to be previewing tonight's game between the Washington Capitals and the defending Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks. The game takes place in Chicago at the United Center, with face-off coming at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Currently, as we speak, the Blackhawks are a minus 175 money line favorite. The total in this game is 5.5, and if you're looking at the puck line, folks, Chicago is minus 1.5 plus 175. Well, if you follow sports, and I'm sure you do if you're watching this video, you know how difficult it is for a team to repeat as champion in any sport. Well, it's no different in the NHL. As a matter of fact, it might be even more difficult than any other sport, as the last time we've had a repeat Stanley Cup champion in the NHL was back in 1998 when the Detroit Red Wings accomplished the feat. And then you have to go back to the 1992 Mario Lemieux-led Pittsburgh Penguins. As a matter of fact, over the last 26 seasons, those were the only two repeat champions for the Stanley Cup in the NHL. Now, I've said on numerous occasions in the off-season, on this site and on several others, when asked about the Chicago Blackhawks' chances to repeat as champions, and I thoroughly believe and firmly believe that they're the best equipped team since the turn of the century to repeat as a champion. And let me tell you why. In this salary cap age that we live in, the management of the Blackhawks has done a terrific job of keeping the majority of this roster intact, the vast majority, as a matter of fact. I can't name one significant loss the Blackhawks suffered in the offseason, and boy, oh boy, we saw the kind of talent they had a year ago, and the only ones that could really deter the Blackhawks from making a serious run at a second Stanley Cup championship in a row is the Blackhawks. And they have another thing going for them. Their head coach, Joel Quenneville, this guy is demanding, he's a disciplinarian, and he's well liked by the players. That's an awful tough thing to have all those three attributes in this day and age in the NHL as a head coach. You look at since he's came over as to be the head coach of the Blackhawks, a terrific regular season record, a terrific playoff record, and the Blackhawks have captured 2 Stanley Cups under his guidance. We go over to the other side, the Washington Capitals, an all too familiar theme for Capitals fans and players and the organization in general is the fact that the Capitals come off another terrific regular season and then another early exit in the Stanley Cup playoffs as they were eliminated by the New York Rangers in 7 games in the first round of the playoffs. Now, Alex Ovechkin returns. He's got a nice supporting cast, and anything less than a deep run in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs is going to be a disappointment for Capitals fans, management, and players, and they should have no excuse this year. Brandon Holtby is a solid goaltender. The Eastern Conference, in my opinion, there's 4 or 5 teams that could advance out of the Eastern Conference, as opposed to the West, where I really like the Blackhawks an awful lot, and then you have the LA Kings and possibly 1 or 2 other teams that may contend. I think the Eastern Conference is absolutely wide open, and Washington has as good a chance as anybody, barring an injury to Alex Ovechkin and an injury to goaltender Brandon Holtby. As long as they stay healthy, they'll have a chance. Now, let's get to tonight's game. I really hate laying that kind of juice. As many of you know who watch my videos, I'm not a proponent, baseball or hockey, of laying a big number like minus 170. What I do think, these teams met the last 4 times they met. They didn't meet last season, but they have gone over the total in the last 4 times they've met. I do think with the firepower on both teams and being so early in the season, we're going to see a more wide open affair than you may see 60 or 70 games into the year. I like this game to go over the total of 5.5 as your free selection. Once again, take Chicago and Washington over 5.5 on Tuesday night in the NHL. My name is Ross Benjamin. You've been watching Where's the Action? Thank you for joining me. and I hope all of you have a terrific week.